right, so we are driving back in this AT4 with nearly 4,000 pounds worth of logs in the back. 3,862 pounds to be exact.
I'm gonna step on the brakes real quick.
And we're gonna slam the brakes on, see if we can get any logs flying through. Huh, pretty good.
Yeah,
You got them strapped down well, don't they?
Yeah.
You know something that's a little strange though? These mirrors kind of move a lot when you hit bumps. I'm kind of surprised by that. They are really...
very rattly.
Yeah, they rattle around a lot. I think that's probably the only major critique I have on the truck from a critical standpoint.
Engineering,
Yeah, and the fact that, again, no radar cruise control as an option. But it does have forward collision, which is kind of interesting. All right, guys, so I have been in this truck for a while now, and I've been with a couple other journalists who have definitely given me some of their opinions in terms of how the truck handles, how it rides. But we kind of got on the topic now of, okay, we've really enjoyed the towing dynamics, the towing characteristics, the ride of this truck. It handles the cargo, it handles the weight, and it's truly a really good purpose-built truck if you're going to be towing. That being said, there are a few little things that we think could be improved, especially on these higher trim trucks, these trucks that are going to carry a much higher MSRP. And the specific truck that we're in right now has an MSRP of over $70,000. So what do we think could be improved? So first of all, the mirrors. They are great in terms of visibility, but they do shake a little bit, and they might be designed to do that. Maybe they are on some type of a hinge to where they can move a little bit so they don't get damaged in the event that you are going over rough road, because this truck does have the AT4 off-road package. But I'm not sure. I just know that we've hit some bumps and they move around a bit. The other thing that I've talked about time and time and time again are the blank spots up here. I just don't think we need those on a newer truck. Most truck manufacturers have moved away from it. Simply take this button and make it wider, but we don't need these blank spots anymore. I think that the emergency flashers should be moved up to this spot right here, which is a much more convenient spot to access, because you could easily accidentally pop your tailgate down or hit traction control when you're trying to reach for your emergency flashers. And because it's in this cluster, sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to see. Another one that we noticed is these knobs right here. They kind of have a plasticky feel to them because they're plastic. And it would be nice if they were a little bit more textured, maybe a rubberized texture. And Chevrolet does that on their trucks. They actually put a rubberized texture here. But in general, I think that they could have gone with a little bit more elegant design for that. Steering wheel. No automatic controls on the side of the steering wheel. You still have a lever on the bottom you have to pop out and make all your adjustments. On a truck this expensive, it really should have an electric steering wheel. And a big feature that they've taken off that I really think is useful for some people, not for everybody, but definitely people who might be shorter in stature, would be the adjustable pedals. And that's a feature that I really think is a convenience feature, especially if your wife's going to drive the vehicle, or if you're not that tall and you need the extra height of the pedals to come up to you. It's just a feature that comes in handy. And one thing we were discussing is it's not as if these are terribly expensive things to do. These are pretty common sense things to do. So as much as I love this truck, as much as I love how it tows that super heavy trailer and the fifth wheels we've been towing, and with all this lumber in the back, almost 4,000 pounds of lumber in the back of it, you add us up, we're probably upwards of 4,200 pounds worth of total cargo in this truck right now, and it handles it perfectly fine. It accelerates well, it stops well. You can definitely tell that you have the weight in the truck, but there are little areas that I think GM could have probably made the ergonomics a little better. And again, those few areas are something that I noticed. And then the final one, before I forget, is this portion up here. So on a lot of trucks, you have the ability to adjust this piece up and down for the seatbelt. In this truck, it's this fixed little bracket right here where the seatbelt kind of goes into it, and that's just another area, again, to accommodate people who might not be as tall. It's good to have that adjustable shoulder seatbelt adjustment piece. But aside from that, the truck is actually a really nice truck. There's a lot to like about it. They've done a good job. I'm actually a fan of not having a panoramic sunroof, and this truck has a standard sunroof. I have panoramic sunroofs on a couple of our vehicles, and I would actually prefer to have just the standard sunroof that I can open up with my hand, at least the shade area right here, and I can close it versus having to use a button to retract this big long cover that goes over the sunroof. But overall, I have to give this truck a solid I'm going to say, in terms of ergonomics, interior, how they've laid everything out, I'd say an A-, maybe a B+, only because it's lacking some things, and a big one for me are the blank spots. But it still ranks up real high. In terms of exterior appeal, I love the steps that they put in front of the bed. I love the steps on the back of the bed. Not a big fan of the multi-pro tailgate. I know it's a huge thing for them, but that's only because I like to keep my trailer hitch in the receiver, and I know that if I had this tailgate, I would dent it accidentally at some point, and I would get really upset. But for most people who don't keep a hitch in their receiver, I think it is probably a very, very good, useful solution for accessing your tailgate, storing things, being able to sit on your tailgate, and all the other cool amenities that it offers you. Overall, guys, the truck is really nice. The exterior of the truck is beautiful. It is a great tow vehicle. It absolutely tows everything effortlessly. Interior, just a few little things. Overall, I do like the interior. It is very classic GM, though, so it's definitely more of an evolution of the last generation, not necessarily a recreation. All that being said, guys, I've had a great time in this truck, and I think most of the reviewers that have been out here like the truck overall. There's a lot to like about it, but it's going to be interesting to see what everyone's feedback is. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up. We'll talk to you again very soon.